unserious has the modern left gotten? We are now 16 days into the second Trump administration, and they have already announced plans to introduce articles of impeachment. No, I am not kidding you, but this is perfect to use as an example of just what the modern American left has been reduced to in this new era of conservative dominance. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. President Trump speaking right now ahead of an expected signing of an executive order that will return women and girls sports to, controversially, just women and girls. We will get to that in just a second. But first, you want to join the Dan O'Donnell Show? I know you do. It is your daily foray into the world of broadcast excellence. Let's be totally honest. Broadcast competence at best. 414-799-1130. That's our adventknows.com talk and text line. Reach me toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email DOD@iHeartMedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, where you can watch the show streaming live via the Dan O'Cam. Also at Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show and on our YouTube channel. Just search for Dan O'Donnell or Dan O'Donnell Show. Chance now for you to win $1,000 in cash instantly. It's our cold, hard cash contest. The word this hour is bonus, B-O-N-U-S, bonus. You have got until 55 past this hour to go to our website and enter the keyword bonus to enter the contest for this hour. Again, the word is bonus. You get a nice $1,000 bonus if your entry is picked at random. Texas Congressman Al Green, no, not the singer, the congressman, today announcing his plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump just 2 days after the 2-week mark of his second term.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise.
What, did he tie Nancy Pelosi to a railroad track? What is he talking about, dastardly deeds?
To say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done.
I can tell you it's a grass-up movement. Whatever it is that Al Green was smoking this or ground up movement, but it came out grass up movement. Straight, just how fundamentally unserious the modern American left has become, and just how little a threat that Democrats now pose to President Trump, because this isn't Al Green's first time proposing articles on the floor. In fact, it's something like his eighth time. No, I has repeatedly proposed that Donald Trump be impeached for all manner of things. Dastardly deeds, perhaps. Almost as soon as Trump was inaugurated the first time around, on May 17th, 2017, Green wanted to impeach him for obstruction of justice.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for impeachment of the President of the United States of America for obstruction.
Yeah, that would seem to be a serious call with the Mueller investigation and all. But then 4 months later, the same congressman rose with the same call for impeachment, this time because Donald Trump insulted black NFL players. No, seriously, because he called them sons of dogs.
So, Mr. Speaker, I denounce the comments that were made And I rise to announce that on next week, Mr. Speaker, I will bring a privileged resolution before the Congress of the United States of America. I will stand here in the well of the Congress, and I will call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
Just 3 months after that, December 6th, we are still in Trump's very first year in office, 2017. Congressman Green got up on the floor of the House again and again announced plans to introduce articles of impeachment, this time because the president was apparently marching to the beat of his own drum or something.
I will tell them that if a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music he hears.
Wise.
However measured, however far away.
Got it.
Mr. Speaker, I will tell them that tomorrow we will bring articles of impeachment to the floor of the Congress of the United States of America for a vote.
I watched that speech 3 times this afternoon and still could not tell you what that impeachment move was actually about. Didn't deter Congressman Green. 4 months after that, April 11th, 2018, he wanted to impeach President Trump again and again went to the floor of the House to announce articles of impeachment, this time because President Trump was talking tough to America's enemies over Twitter.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to announce that I do not approve of, nor do I support of the notion that we should have war by Twitter, that we should announce that we are going to war with a tweet.
Aha. In 2019, Democrats actually did start the impeachment proceedings against President Trump, but not for what it was always presumed they were going to impeach him over, the Russiagate scandal, but rather a Ukraine phone call. Al Green, though, on February 26th of that year, was calling for President Trump to be impeached over his bigotry.
I'm listening to these morning programs now. They're all talking about bigotry emanating from the presidency, not necessarily in those words. They're talking about the racism that the president perpetrates. I appreciate what they are saying, but we've got to do more than talk about it. We cannot allow a president to remain in office who has engaged in this kind of bigoted conduct.
Now, Democrats finally got on board the Al Green impeachment train in the summer of 2019. But again, it was over his supposedly perfect phone call with new Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. At almost the exact moment that those impeachment talks were heating up, Al Green finally had his moment in the sun and called for the impeachment of Donald Trump. Not over Ukraine, but because Trump's a racist.
What do you do when the leader of the free world is a racist? What do you do? Well, here's what you do. You file a resolution condemning the president for racist comments directed at members of Congress. What do? You file articles of impeachment.
Of course.
Impeaching the President of the United States of America.
Al Green, who has wanted to impeach President Trump and actually introduced articles of impeachment over such things as racism, bigotry, tweeting insults at NFL players, tweeting declarations of war at, I don't know, Kim Jong-un, for obstruction, for marching to the beat of his own drum, is therefore the perfect representation of what the Democratic Party has become. In 2025, the same thing it always was, and certainly was, when Green started announcing articles of impeachment way back in 2017. But the difference is we look back in 2025 and laugh at people like Al Green, whereas in 2017, even someone as comically stupid and inept as him was taken seriously. Not, of course, for his repeated articles of impeachment, but he was a regular guest on the nightly cable news shows talking about just how terrible Trump was. In 2017, this passed as serious discourse. In 2025, there is not a single person who is even mentioning, save for maybe me because I find it so hilarious, the fact that Congressman Al Green filed articles of impeachment yet again. On the very first day of Trump's first term, January 20th, 2017, there was a huge article in Politico, I believe. The effort to impeach Trump starts now. 16 days into his second term on February 5th, 2025, there is a new effort to impeach Trump, and there isn't a single soul taking it seriously. This is how far the Democratic Party has fallen in just 8 years. And this also is exactly what people like me warned them about when they impeached Trump twice during his first term, once holding an impeachment trial after he had already left office. When you treat impeachment as a joke, impeachment becomes a joke, and you along with it when you start to sound like Al Green. Meanwhile, President Trump is moving with staggering speed. Just a couple of seconds ago at the White House, flanked by dozens of female athletes. Little girls to women, world-class athletes to grade school athletes, signing an executive order protecting women in sports by ensuring that only women are in women's sports. The order just happens to coincide with National Girls and Women in Sports Day and basically interprets Title IX for a new presidential administration. Now, the law, of course, gave women the opportunity to have sports by requiring that government entities would provide women with the opportunity to play sports if they had opportunities for men and boys to play sports. Naturally, the Biden administration reinterpreted this in such a radical way that it resulted in a tremendous amount of pushback, allowing biological men to compete against women. Now, naturally, the way that this is being reported, even at ESPN.com for sports fans, that this is much ado about nothing. ESPN. The Associated Press reported in 2021 that in many cases, the states introducing a ban on transgender athletes could not cite instances when their participation was an issue. This is a solution looking for a problem. Cheryl Cookie, a professor at Purdue University who studies the intersection of gender, sports, media, and culture, told the AP after Trump was elected. Good. Then this is a non-entity that shouldn't result in any backlash whatsoever. Women and girls play women and girls sports, and boys and men play boys and men sports. The fact that we even need an executive order is further proof that the Democratic Party of today has become a total joke. In fact, the transgender sports and locker room issues were a main reason why the American people who, let's not kid ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, had turned their backs on Donald Trump. He was left for political dead following the 2022 midterms. It was only Democrats persecuting him that resurrected his political career. But when Donald Trump is seen as the normal one after 5 straight years of the American people being told that he's literally Orange Hitler, because Democrats have gone so far afield of normal political and, frankly, cultural thought, normal, sane thoughts. for thousands and thousands and thousands of years of human civilization, across civilizations, across all four corners of the world, human beings have separated themselves into male and female, understanding that there were biological differences. From the first moments that human beings organized themselves into primitive societies in caves, the men would go out to hunt for the woolly mammoths, and the women would stay back and give birth to, raise, and nurture the young. Now, that's not to say that those gender roles are set in, pardon the pun, stone, but that is to say that across time, across geographic differences, human beings have always understood that there are fundamental differences between men and women. Men and women literally were created and evolved to fulfill the biological species-wide need that each race, or gender had. But gender, like race now, we are told, is a social construct and can be molded and malleable. Well, the American people didn't buy it. The American people looked at Democrats saying, well, yes, we should have dudes with their you-know-whats hanging out, just chilling in women's bathrooms with 15-year-old girls. And said, what? Looking at them like an entire party of Al Greens, saying, what? You want my daughter to shower with who? Okay. The most effective ad that I hope will be studied for decades to come had to be a simple phrase that the entire message boiled down to. Kamala is for they, them. Donald Trump is for you. And the ad focused on Kamala wanting sex change operations for prisoners, something that the narrator said was so insane, even the New York Times couldn't believe it. It showed that they were a party of Al Greens, that they had fully given in to the insanity that took over their party from 2017 on and really ramped up in 2020. The ultimate denial of scientific, biological, and cultural reality was, I think, a bridge too far. This, more than almost anything else, was the fundamental reason that Trump did come back from the political dead. That so many people who didn't vote for him in 2016, didn't support him, maybe even wanted him impeached for being mean to NFL players, took a second look at him and said, yeah, I could vote for this guy. The other side is gone nuts. And ladies and gentlemen, they are still nuts. From USAID to the Milwaukee Housing Authority and much more. We will cover it all when the Dan O'Donnell Show returns.
The Dan O'Donnell Show is coming right back.
This Valentine's season, the Ministry of Preborn invites you to become a heartbeat hero and share the love that goes beyond a box of chocolates, a love that saves lives. Every day, thousands of women are told the lie that abortion is their only option. They can't do it, that there is no hope. But that mother in crisis, when she sees her baby on an ultrasound at a preborn network clinic, it doubles her chances at choosing life. This isn't just an image on a screen. It's about a mom hearing the baby's heartbeat, maybe for the first time, and realizing that's a gift growing inside of her. One preborn supporter said, knowing my gift could save a life was the most meaningful act of love I could give. For $28, you can provide an ultrasound and help a mom in crisis choose life. $140 provides 5 ultrasounds. So this Valentine's season, take a stand, be bold. Become a heartbeat hero. Dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or visit preborn.com/Beck. That's preborn.com/Beck.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you. It's deer season in Wisconsin, but I'm not talking about hunting. I'm talking, unfortunately, about car crashes. If you're unlucky and get into a collision with a deer, you could be entered into Mander's Hit a Deer, Win a Deer contest. That's deer as in John Deere, as in a brand new John Deere tractor mower. My friends at Mander want to add some positivity to what can be a stressful, traumatic event. So now through February 28th, anyone who hits a deer and has their vehicle repaired at any Mander Collision location will be entered into a drawing for a new Deere tractor. Hit a Deer, Win a Deer, now through February 28th at all Mander locations. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
I'm Dave Brownsdorf, president of Flawless Flooring. It's true, there's nothing quite like the scent of freshly steam-cleaned, worn carpet other than a wet dog or cat's litter box. However, Flawless's customer satisfaction, unprecedented growth pinched the Milwaukee metro flooring industry to the point major carpet companies are no more. We've added quality carpeting lines, becoming your true one-stop flooring shop. Flawless Flooring's New Berlin and Delafield showrooms feature virtually unheard of in the flooring industry upfront accurate pricing, including installation on every display. Know how much carpet, LVP, or modern laminate flooring you need? You can calculate exact pricing as you shop. Want to expand your existing hardwood flooring? Flawless's employee-only craftsmen strip existing flooring, install new hardwood, then finish old and new together for a perfect, looks all original floor. Lock in purchasing power of today's dollars for money you'll earn up to 21 months from now with Flawless's no money down, zero interest financing. Sensory underload, Flawless Flooring, flawlessflooringllc.com. That's flawlessflooringllc.com.
That's are us when dreams sunk in. That's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 414-765-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 414-765-BATH. That's are us when dreams sunk in. That's are us.
Crystal clear water conditioning products by S&K Pump and Plumbing are the answer to your problem water. If iron, hardness, or odor are giving you nightmares, their water treatment specialists are ready to tackle your problems. S&K Pump and Plumbing is looking to add an experienced water treatment specialist to its team. Email your resume to jobs@s-n-k-pump.com.
When it comes to water, one call does it all. S&K Pump and Plumbing.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. There used to be a day when the national news media prided itself on getting the story right. Those days are gone. Now, it's slanted stories, unnamed sources, and fake news. The goal no longer is to inform you. The goal is to indoctrinate you. Here at News Talk 1130 WISN, our show hosts will give you straightforward information and honest analysis. That is our commitment, and that is our daily mission. News Talk 1130 WISN. Real life, real news, real good.
WISN.
Big taxers, big spenders, political cronies, global warming alarmists, charlatans, liars, scam artists, and feeders at the public trough. The threats to your happiness are many, but that's where we can help. News Talk 1130 WISN. Our truth shall keep you free.
Conservative thought, not just talk. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. The Democratic Party really has become a party of Al Greens, just crazy, out-of-touch idiots whose only unifying thing is unhinged opposition to Donald Trump. And the Democrats are proving that with their opposition to Elon Musk wanting to get fraud, waste, and abuse out of federal government spending. They're saying this is what Hitler would do. I've never known a fascist dictator, or any dictator for that matter, to want to shrink the size of his own government. But hey, that's just me. President Trump's executive order, despite the fact that so many leftists, I'm sure, will be telling you today that it's not needed, absolutely is. And I can prove it. The all-time record in the women's 100-meter dash was set way back in 1988 by Florence Griffith Joyner, FloJo, as she was popularly known. Now, I'm not one to speculate about how that record has stood for nearly 40 years, or why FloJo died of a heart attack and heart failure just a couple of years later. Just going to let you make your own inferences, but the women's record is 10.49 seconds. Last year, a young man by the name of Kaj Baker, who's from Florida, ran the 100-meter in 10.35 seconds. Kaj Baker is a high school boy, and his time was the 20th fastest high school boys 100-meter dash time in the U.S. in 2024. 20th fastest in one random year, beat the all-time women's record. This is because there are innate biological differences between men and women, or even post-pubescent boys and fully grown women. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, in a survey study, whatever, published September of 2023, quote, biological sex is a determinant of athletic performance. Adult males are faster, stronger, more powerful than females because of fundamental sex differences in anatomy and physiology dictated by sex chromosomes. Now, these aren't necessarily all that pronounced before puberty, when you might have little girls being bigger and stronger and faster than little boys, but the second they all hit puberty, everything changes. The effects of testosterone, both direct and indirect, during male puberty increase skeletal muscle mass due to larger muscle fiber and a cross-sectional area that is especially focused on fast type 2 fibers. It also leads to a lower percentage of body fat, higher hemoglobin concentration and mass, larger ventricular mass and cardiac volumes, larger airways and lungs, greater body height, greater body weight, longer limbs. Adult males are stronger, more powerful, and faster than females of similar age and training status. The sex difference in athletic performance, where endurance or muscular power is required, is roughly 10 to 30% depending on the event. Teenage boys and adult men outperform girls and women in running by 10 to 15% on average, in jumping by 15 to 20%, in strength by 30 to 60%. Even after a biological male has undergone hormone therapy, which defenders of allowing biological males in women and girls sports often point to, even after the hormone therapy, research shows that while those innate biological advantages do decrease somewhat, they are still far more prominent than similarly aged and trained women. Men have 30 to 60% higher muscle strength than women. Undergoing testosterone suppression decreases that strength by up to only 3%. Men of a similar age and similar training regimen, similar natural ability at the same level of performance, high school athlete versus high school athlete, college athlete versus college athlete, etc. A man will still be 57% stronger than a woman after hormone therapy. he will still be between 15 and 20% better at jumping. Obviously, something you would need in volleyball, in basketball, in field events, in track events like hurdles, in running, both endurance and sprinting, 10 to 15%. And the only reason that it's that close is because of the limits of human performance, i.e., you can only get so fast in the 100-meter dash. But endurance, too, advantages men significantly. The all-time record for the women's mile is 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Now, those of a certain age will remember one of the most impressive feats ever done. 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. Since then, literally thousands of high school boys have done it. A woman of any age at the highest level of training and performance has never in the history of recorded mile running broken the 4-minute barrier. To suggest that there is any competition in athletic competition between men and women is nonsensical. Now, this isn't Dan the misogynist bagging on women. Women have a tendency to be much better at sports that require agility and grace, i.e. gymnastics. This is why gymnastics events for men are focused on strength and power. It is insane to see those dudes do the rings, do the pommel horse, the staggering amount of upper body strength they need to have. There's a reason women don't do the rings. There's a reason women do the balance beam and men don't. Figure skating, too. Lightness, grace, the ability to just glide across the ice. There are very, very good male figure skaters, but again, their routines are more focused on how high they can jump, their athletic prowess, and much less on the dancing rhythmic aspect of it. This has nothing to do with gender roles. This has everything to do with biology. This has everything to do with how human beings were created. Men and women were not meant to be in competition with each other. God created us to perfectly complement each other. This is why the left, sounding like a party of Al Greens, saying that, oh, the traditional family structure is outdated. No, it's not. We were literally created to mate and to form family units that then, yes, belong to a broader clan or tribe or community, city, state, neighborhood. How we evolved is dependent upon the concept that a man and a woman procreate and raise the next generation of children. You're never, ever, ever going to overcome with hormone treatments and half-assed surgeries thousands of years of biological evolution and development. Dare I say, if you think you can, you just might be a science denier. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. You know who else is celebrating Women in Sports Day other than President Trump? Milwaukee Public Schools. We'll get to that next.
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Belinsky Homes, building homes ready to handle your life. Visit Belinsky.com to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Bob here for Redefine Realty, powered by EasyHomeBidder.com.
Brian here. I was in the market to buy my first home.
I rushed to see houses the day they went live on MLS. Made offers on 5 houses before finally getting the 6th accepted. I would have increased my bid on all 5 of the other houses I didn't get, but never got the chance.
Brian's story is tragic for Brian, but also for sellers. Brian would have paid more for each of the 5 houses he didn't get. That's 5 sellers guided by traditional MLS agents who sold their home for less than they could have. Redefined Realty, powered by EasyHomeBidder.com's auction platform and MLS, would have earned all 5 Wisconsin area home sellers more money. A lot more money. Selling a fixer-upper, a duplex, a condo, a $400,000 home, or a multi-million-dollar home. When buyers bid, sellers win. In fact, when buyers bid, buyers win too. Heck, everybody wins at Redefined Realty and EasyHomeBidder.com. Buyers win, sellers win. Obvious, but revolutionary. When buyers win, sellers win. It's real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
In almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it is a one and done. Because we don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Bob from Redefined Realty here. I'd written my own ads for 20 years.
Creative genius. Here. Same. Well, Inet's ads and 100 other businesses' ads.
Writing your own ads, you kind of get stuck repeating the same message. Different words, but the same perspective.
Before introducing Easy Home Bidder, Bob came to Inet to brand his brainchild, MLS listing backed by auction. It's brilliant. MLS guarantees the home is found. Auction guarantees the highest sale price. Period.
Inet branded it, wrote our story, knocked our marketing out of the park. When you think of selling your home, you know MLS and auction together is the right choice.
Redefined also benefits from unparalleled radio buying power, industry influence, and extracurricular enhancement of being part of the Inet community. More than 1,000 businesses working together for each other's successes.
Websites, branding, design, video, and radio. Inet is improving the economy one business at a time.
InetDishWeb.com.
CreativeGeniusMarketing.com.
Buyers, sellers, real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. If it seems rain hangs around your home coming down as insidiously delicate droplets, or in buckets, and if neither, rain tends to lurk suspiciously in the atmosphere around your house, you probably have a wet, mildewy, leaky basement with cracked walls. No basement wall or foundation repair is too big or small for Ryan Waterproofing. We won't be the most expensive. The larger the job, the more you'll save with Ryan. We've eliminated bowed walls, cracks, spalling, seepage, and flooding in Coast Guard stations, museums, and countless Wisconsin homes. Ryan's waterproofing experts show up on time and do exactly what we say we're going to do, eliminating your water problems, restoring your home, even ending your negative obsession with rain. Imagine looking out the window for rainbows rather than obsessing about your basement walls and floors next time, every time it rains. Free estimates, affordable financing. Because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing, call Ryan.com. That's callRION.com.
Okay. Well, wait, how about this one? Look, 3 bedrooms.
What's the catch?
Well, we'd have to replace the appliances.
All right.
And the style is straight out of the 80s.
Oof.
And the roof leaks.
How about a ready home from Belinsky Homes? They've got brand new homes in a wide variety of designs. We get all the benefits of new construction while skipping the building process. Look, just go to Belinsky.com to see all the ready homes available right now.
Business owners, you've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into your business, but now it's time to sell. We get it. Visit LakeCountryAdvisors.com and learn how to confidentially sell your business. Local, experienced, trusted. We are Lake Country Advisors.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents, they know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
I'm Greg Rosenthal, host of NFL Daily. Join me live from Radio Row in New Orleans. I'll be interviewing the NFL's biggest names all week long. NFL Daily will have you ready for this year's big moment. Will it be Mahomes completing the three-peat or Jalen Hurts avenging their Super Bowl 57 loss? We'll be there on the field after the game. Full recap, interviews with this year's Super Bowl champions. Don't miss it. Listen to NFL Daily on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow NFL Daily and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Still chuckling at all of the things that Al Green has tried to impeach and actually introduced articles of impeachment against President Trump over. And I always feel like I need to clarify, this is not Al Green, the singer, who passed away, right? He died young, didn't he? Or am I thinking of Marvin Gaye, Otis Redding, pretty much every singer from that era, it seemed like? Or is he, you know, now that I think about it, I think Al Green is still alive. He is alive and well at 78. Well, he's alive. Paul says we're not sure if he's well. We're not sure if he's still singing Let's Stay Together, but he is alive. I think I did confuse him with Otis Redding, who died in a plane crash, helicopter crash, something like that. One of the all-time greatest songs ever written, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Just hauntingly beautiful, just the voice, everything. I also love, by Otis Redding, My Lover's Prayer, famously used in an episode of The Sopranos. Basically, my entire musical knowledge of the 1960s and 70s comes from David Chase of The Sopranos and the collected works of Quentin Tarantino. So that's how this millennial got his musical tastes, in case you were wondering. Well, it isn't just President Trump celebrating today, and this is why he signed the executive order today. It is National Women and Girls in Sports Day, February 5th. It is not just him who is celebrating it. And in fact, I think this may be a coincidence, but I think I might have solved one of the biggest mysteries here on the Dan O'Donnell Show this week. Why is Trans and Queer Affirming and Disability Justice Day part of Milwaukee Public Schools' Black Lives Matter at School Week? Let's get to it. They are not teaching the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s at MPS schools this week. It's the first week of Black History Month, and therefore it is Black Lives Matter at School Week. Schools and communities nationwide are planning lessons, activities, and events focused on the 2025 theme, Collective Value. They don't even pretend that this is anything other than socialist indoctrination, do they, folks? This is directly from the MPS website. 5 days of action and education spanning 13 guiding principles, increasing the ranks of Black and Brown educators in K-12, teaching Black history and ethnic studies, and welcoming students and educators of all identities and abilities are among the 2025 priorities. Now, on Monday, we had Restorative Justice and Empathy Day. Black kids at MPS are completely unable to read and write and do math at grade level. Only 5%, according to last week's national standardized testing, of Black students in Milwaukee are at grade level in either reading and writing or math. That is by far the worst in the entire country. But my God, Milwaukee's kids are the most empathetic and restorative justice-minded that we have ever seen. Yesterday was Diversity and Globalism Day, and I could not figure this out when reporting this on Monday. Why, oh why, is Trans and Queer Affirming and Disability Justice Day today? What does that have to do with Black Lives Mattering? And I wonder if they deliberately tied that to National Women and Girls in Sports Day. It might just be a coincidence, but it is so weird. I wonder if the socialists behind Black Lives Matter at School Week just wanted to counter-program that and to remind everybody that trans lives like Black Lives Matter. So what did kids do today instead of reading, instead of learning math? Why, they went over lesson plans and discussion questions that might explore how elections and elected officials shape the spaces we live, learn, and work in. Conversations could center on how everyone can make a positive impact in school. What the hell does that have to do with trans, queer, affirming, and disability justice? Oh, I get it. You're indoctrinating kids to vote for the people, i.e. Democrats, who you believe will affirm queer and trans people and the disabled. Tomorrow, by the way, it is Intergenerational Black Family and Village Day at MPS. And finally, we wrap up Black Lives Matter at School Week with Black Women and Unapologetically Black Day. You know what MPS should be apologizing for? Taking even a second away from educating black kids to do virtue signaling BS like this. We named the Unhinged Liberal of the Day when the Dan O'Donnell Show returns.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Southbound Brewers Boulevard just before National. Still got a stalled vehicle block in the right lane, but he got a tow truck on the scene there. Southbound 43 tight from Center to the Marquette, and westbound 94 27 to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood, or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
I'm board-certified plastic surgeon Michelle Boness. You can look the way you feel inside without risking long-term side effects of injectable fat reduction therapies while saving money with Boness Cool Sculpting and Cool Tone. Your body, your life, love it. drboness.com.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 60% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 24 months. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
As long as Engine and Transmission Exchange exists, I will never take my vehicles anywhere else. That's part of a review from customer Jordan, who says they do great, trustworthy work every time, and I never feel like I'm getting taken. That has certainly been my experience and that of my family. In the time I've been endorsing them, ETE has become a family thing. Numerous family members now take their cars to Engine and Transmission Exchange, and we become loyal customers because Vince and his team really do give you that respect and loyalty back. WISN listeners talk as if they're doctors you turn to when you want a second opinion. Honest, timely, they saved me money, kept me informed. These are the things I hear over and over again from WISN listeners who found ETE. They'll accurately diagnose your problem and will always work to save you money while doing the repair right. There are 2 ETE locations, West Avenue in Waukesha and on South 27th in Milwaukee. They'll go out of their way to work around your schedule. They have clean, bright waiting areas, and they're good people. See enginetrans.com for details. Enginetrans.com. It's Engine and Transmission Exchange. Enginetrans.com.
Addiction can be isolating, but there is strength in numbers. Together, we can bring out the best in those who are in need of recovery while removing stigma. The Phoenix has built a nationwide community in support of people living a sober lifestyle. In partnership with 1 Million Strong, we're uniting the music industry, fans, and artists to take action to transform the way people think about addiction and recovery. Are you affected by addiction, or do you know someone who is? Visit 1millionstrong.com to connect with the Phoenix community and find the support you need.
Marketing in modern business means finding and serving your customers 24/7 wherever they are. WISN broadcasts are a powerful platform, but there's so much more. WISN's online digital tools are completely customizable, so you can reach your ideal customer through the iHeart app or by using software that actually finds your customers at a specific location or event. These tools are precise, efficient, measurable marketing weapons that you need to use. Combine the power and clout of WISN's broadcast and digital platforms right now. Go to newstalk1130.com, keyword digital.
The talk shows on WISN Radio. Not for the faint of heart and not for the feeble of mind. News Talk 1130 WISN. Fact is, until you've heard us, you haven't heard the whole story.
Serious about this. What I almost want to reach out to an MPS spokesperson. I have reached out to whoever it is. It used to be someone I worked with at a TV station we were both at, and they just refused to get back to me on anything. I almost want to reach out and say, can you please, I promise I will not make fun of Black Lives Matter at Schools Week, just happening to come the week after you were named the worst in the nation at educating black kids. If you can just please tell me, what does Trans and Queer Affirming Day have to do with Black Lives Matter? I am genuinely confused about this.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany. Does that make me crazy?
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil. America is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need your help for today's Unhinged Liberal of the Day. We have got 2 very strong contenders, both from yesterday's big protest of the U.S. aid pause by DOGE. Both equally crazy, both Democrat Congress people. First, here's Jonathan Jackson.
That same spirit that Elon Musk has coming from South Africa and Peter Thiel coming from South Africa, we're not going to have apartheid in America anymore.
Peter Thiel isn't from South Africa. I think he lived there for like maybe half a year when he was a kid. So that's option 1 for Unhinged Liberal, Jonathan Jackson. Here's 2, LaMonica McIver.
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and damn it, shut down the Senate. We are at war.
So that's your second option. LaMonica McIver, we are at war, or Jonathan Jackson, Elon Musk wants to bring apartheid to America. Vote now by text 414-799-1130. We will tally up your answers and actually have the unhinged liberal of the day coming up next right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Maloney. President Trump says Palestinians have no alternative but to leave Gaza and find somewhere else to live. Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met in the Oval Office yesterday, with Trump saying the U.S. is prepared to take over the occupied territory. The state of Wisconsin is thinking the bird flu is responsible for dozens of dead birds that have washed up along the lakefront. The Wisconsin DNR says they are getting reports of dead birds. Most of them are lake birds, gulls, and ducks. The state says it's monitoring the situation. Business news brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow is up 317.25 points. The S&P 500 up 23.6, and the Nasdaq is up 38.3 points. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports scoreboard, the Milwaukee Bucks are sending former champion Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards in a deal that sees them get Kyle Kuzma. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast, presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A period of light snow is possible this afternoon, then a light wintry mix of sleet, snow, and freezing drizzle late tonight into early Thursday morning. Only light accumulation possible, but watch for slippery spots. Windy with some sunshine Thursday. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song. Get your max tax refund guaranteed, and new customers get $100 to switch. Don't miss the boat. Book an appointment with experts today. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
This month and every month, we remember the over 66 million babies whose lives have been senselessly sacrificed on the altar of abortion. Surely, the left doesn't understand the repercussions of a land that takes the blood of the innocent, and that should only motivate us more to save more babies and their moms. Preborn is a network of clinics, and they fight every day to save more babies and more moms. To date, they've rescued over 300,000 babies' lives by introducing a mom to her child on an ultrasound. That baby's chance at life doubles. Preborn showers moms and babies with God's love and assistance for up to 2 years. So when they shout abortion, we shout life. Let's save more babies this year than last. One ultrasound is just $28, and only $140 will help rescue 5 babies. All of the gifts are tax deductible. So donate securely. Dial pound 250. Say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby. Or go to preborn.com/Beck. Preborn.com/Beck. Sponsored by Preborn.
Craving something delicious? Food's here. Stop into Quick Trip for delicious appetizers and hearty meals. Whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go. Fresh, fast, and packed with flavor. Fuel your day with quality taste. Let Quick Trip make your day easier and better.
Welcome to This Week with Annex Wealth Management. Dan O'Donnell alongside the CEO of Annex, Dave Spano. And Dave, we may have just lived through the shortest trade war in recorded history between the United States and Mexico.
The fact that we even call it a trade war is kind of humorous because, the trade war goes all the way back to really almost 100 years ago, and nothing really came out of that. And really what happened back when the trade war really was going on, the economic background was totally different. We all know now that the threat of the tariffs on Mexico were short-lived. He asked for 10,000 troops to go to the border and help with immigration and fentanyl distribution, and it happened. We'll see what happens. We'll see how things play out. We'll see if in 30 days this conversation comes up again. But the other piece of news that came out this week as well is we had 26 straight months of contraction in the manufacturing business. Guess what? That is over. And so now the ISM numbers are positive. That means that the contraction and the recession that was in the manufacturing business has now ended. All of this while the dollar is getting stronger. So you got to say the art of the deal is certainly working at this point.
It certainly worked with Mexico, as well as with Colombia, as well as with Venezuela, Canada, possibly China, the European Union as well. Suffice it to say that things are moving very, very quickly with respect to President Trump's use of tariffs and the threat thereof with respect to deregulation and pretty much everything else. And this is why it is so imperative that because markets move very quickly as well in response to a very fast-moving government and other things, you need to know what you own and why you own it. You need to get a wealth metric. It's a review of your portfolio available only at annexwealth.com. For Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell. Thanks for listening to This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Never drive drunk. If you do, don't believe police officers who tell you it's just a ticket and a 6-month suspension. Pay it and put this behind you. You'll likely have to install an ignition interlock device to blow into before starting your car. Protects the public and shames you with your friends and family. Your license will be revoked. You can go to jail for 1 year if caught driving revoked. Even if you swear you did never drive revoked, most people do. With a to and from work permit, one snowstorm, long meeting, or traffic jam, and you're driving revoked. An officer runs your plate while driving, and you're in even more serious trouble. You'll participate in alcohol and drug assessments, a driver's safety plan, and alcohol classes. You could even lose your job. Prosecutors will tenaciously prosecute you without empathy, regardless of your clean driving record. Your first DUI conviction never disappears from your record. Just a ticket and 6-month suspension, and a Scarlet A for life. Charged with an OWI, your best chance is to call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this. The voting is just too close to call. Who will be today's unhinged liberal of the day? You have got Democrat Congressman Jonathan Jackson accusing Elon Musk of wanting to bring apartheid to America just because he happens to be from South Africa.
That same spirit that Elon Musk has coming from South Africa and Peter Thiel coming from South Africa, we're not going to have apartheid in America anymore.
Thiel's not actually from South Africa, so that's option one. Option two, LaMonica McIver, also Democrat Congresswoman, saying we are at war because Elon Musk wants to get rid of some wasteful spending at USAID.
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and damn it, shut down the Senate.
Very strong contenders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I need you. I simply could not decide for myself. We have got Paul in the producer's room. He is going to be tallying up your votes. We are getting several votes a second, Paul. Just try to get a good representative count. We're going to count this like Democrats. Maybe we'll count some of the votes. Maybe we won't. We do actually want to get it as accurate as possible. Coming up at about 4:20-ish, we will tally your votes for a democratically elected unhinged liberal of the day. Right now, cold hard cash contest word this hour is bank, B-A-N-K, bank. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website, enter the keyword bank to enter the contest for this hour. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000 instantly. I want to take you back to January 24th. We reported on this show about a rather stunning admission by a former reporter for Politico, a guy by the name of Mark Caputo, who was on the podcast of his former co-worker at Politico, Tara Palmieri, and said that his bosses refused to allow him to report on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Politico, my former employer, and I knew at the time, didn't do itself any favors. I was covering Biden at the time, and I remember coming to my editor and saying, saying, hey, we need to write about the Hunter Biden laptop. And I was told this came from on high at Politico. Don't write about the laptop. Don't talk about the laptop. Don't tweet about the laptop. And the only thing Politico wound up writing was that piece that called it disinformation, which charitably could be called misinformation at the least.
That was the infamous article. 51 former intelligence officials call the Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation, or at least said it bore all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. It clearly wasn't, because the FBI had the laptop at the time. Almost all of them have now had their security clearances revoked. It was rather obvious why Politico had that story written up to provide cover for themselves not covering the story. It was a very real story. It was also very damaging to the preferred candidate, Joe Biden. So the rest of the media had its excuse. You don't need to cover this because 51 former intelligence officials say it bears all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. Caputo wasn't done there, though. He also outlined that a year earlier, his bosses at Politico refused to allow him to cover a story about Hunter Biden's tax problems stemming from work he was doing while sitting on the board of Burisma Holdings.
I still have a copy of the story on my external hard drive. In 2019, a rival presidential Democratic campaign of Joe Biden's gave to me the tax lien, the Oppo research, the tax lien on Hunter Biden for the period of time that he worked at Burisma. And I wrote what would have been a classic story saying, you know, the former vice president's son was slapped with a big tax lien for the period of time that he worked for this controversial Ukrainian oil concern or natural gas concern, which is haunting his father on the campaign trail. That story was killed by the editors, and they gave no explanation for that either.
It's kind of stunning, isn't it? A, we now know that the Hunter Biden working at Burisma and getting all manner of shady deals done because he was selling access to his father didn't come from Rudy Giuliani or Trump. It came from a rival Democrat campaign. This was opposition research, but the Politico editors killed it. Why? What possible reason could they have? And what possible reason could Dan O'Donnell have for bringing this story up again today? Here's the answer to both. It was revealed today that USAID, which the left is currently freaking out about Elon Musk investigating and possibly bringing apartheid to America by doing it, was giving Politico $8.2 million in government money. That was stopped today, as announced by Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now.
Now, something else happened today. Politico failed to make payroll, possibly for the first time ever in its history. Employees didn't get paid on time. Why? Could it be because they were so dependent on USAID's funding? And why exactly was USAID funding a news agency that was in turn covering USAID? Why didn't Politico ever once in its history disclose that it was getting $8 million from USAID? But it wasn't just USAID. According to Liz Wheeler, the very, very good reporter, also talk show host and author, says Politico has gotten, and she is using usaspending.gov research to back this up, Politico has received $34.3 million from various government agencies. How? Health and Human Services the Department of Education, the Department of Agriculture, the FDA, the EPA, and the CDC were all giving millions of dollars to Politico. Now, one of the explanations that I have heard from various leftists today trying to justify this was, well, Politico has paid memberships. They were just getting paid memberships for all of their staffers. I think I still have a paid membership to Politico because I have to use it in my day-to-day job. I was sitting there, oh gosh, I wonder what's going on at the FDA today. No, it's because a lot of times I'll have an article from Politico. There's some ridiculous thing that they're reporting, or sometimes they actually do good work. I don't think I could possibly purchase enough subscriptions at like probably $8 a month to get to $34 million. This sure as heck looks like government bureaucrats paying off Politico for favorable coverage of their bureaucracies. And here's the thing, it wasn't just Politico. The Associated Press has also been raking in millions of dollars from the federal government, specifically USAID, for years and years and years. If you want to track this, go to usaspending.gov and you can take a look at what is actually spent on what. This is where I got a lot of the information yesterday that I was rattling off about all the ridiculous things that USAID was spending money on. A DEI musical in Ireland, a transgender opera in Serbia, and Elon is a Nazi? He's like an apartheid dictator for wanting to spend our money better. It wasn't just our two contenders for the unhinged liberal of the day who made absolute fools out of themselves. And there were more protests today, in fact. In fact, you have a United States senator today coming out and saying, we want millions of people to descend on Washington, D.C. I'll tell you what that reminds me of coming up later on in the show. But the leader of Senate Democrats, in fact, the man who many believe is now the leader of the Democrat Party, it's certainly not Biden anymore, it's not Kamala Harris. This rudderless ship has to have a captain, right? It's probably old Chuck. Well, he was out there yesterday and tried to start a chant. It appears as though Chuck Schumer has never started nor heard a chant before.
We will win. 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 We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
So just when he gets the crowd chanting, we will win, he switches it up. We won't rest. We won't rest. Well, you know things are getting cringy for old Chuck when he's even lost Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, we are so we are doomed. All these old men. Look at who we have running this country.
Kimmel actually played that clip of Chuck Schumer trying to start a chant. And when it's getting that embarrassing, you know the Democratic Party is, as I suggested in my opening monologue of the start of the show, a party of Al Greens. Embarrassments that the rest of the country now looks at with derision. One of the most powerful things that you can do in politics is to turn your opponent into a laughingstock. The best example I can think of is Gerald Ford tripping over everything in front of him. Gerald Ford was very likely the best athlete we have ever had as a president of the United States. He was a football star at Michigan. People remembered Chevy Chase playing him on Saturday Night Live. Sarah Palin never actually said, "I can see Russia from my house." Tina Fey did, playing Sarah Palin on Saturday Night Live. There's a reason all of the late night shows are hardcore left-wing. It's because humor is such a powerful tool. Guess what? Democrats are the joke now. They may not know it, but the rest of us sure do. We have a winner. Someone has pulled away in our battle to be the unhinged liberal of the day. Find out who it is coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
In Walworth County, got a stalled vehicle blocking all lanes of westbound US 12 right near Clover Road. Southbound on 43, taking 11 from Brown Deer to the Marquette onto 4394, another 7 to the Mitchell. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by K9 Resorts Luxury Pet Hotel in Brookfield.
Jerry Bott here to tell you that K9 Resorts of Brookfield Luxury Pet Hotel and Daycare is the place where your dog will get the exercise, socialization, and attention it deserves. My dog loved it, and so will yours. New customers, mention WISN when you register and get 3 days of daycare free.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2896. That's 844-763-2896. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Picture taking your first steps into your brand new home. What do you see? Whether it's cooking meals in your 5-star kitchen or practicing downward dog in your sunroom, Belinsky Homes can handle it all. At Belinsky Homes, we know each lifestyle calls for unique home essentials. That's why we've been designing distinct and deliberate floor plans for over 60 years. Considering every last inch of space, we build new homes ready to adapt to your life's needs. Visit Belinsky.com today to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
I'm Josh Parks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10. Brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection. Every Infinity roof does.
MJ, Josh's partner here, protecting homeowners for decades to come, always installing roofs, siding, and windows to better than manufacturer warranty specifications is how we built Infinity to the most successful exterior remodeling company in the Midwest.
It's your home, it's your roof. With Infinity, it's all about you.
Infinity passes on buying power no other roofer has, saving you money.
Infinity provides absolute transparency in pricing with our proprietary app, showing exactly what Infinity is going to do and exactly what everything will cost line by line, real time.
No waiting 3 days to a week for a quote.
If you like what you see,
and you will,
Infinity can schedule your new roof, siding, or windows, including financing, right there in your home. No hassle, no waiting.
Warranted, guaranteed quality. Installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
That's InfinityRoofing.com.
Hi, it's Rob Radisky here, a veteran designer at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart, and we're inviting you to come take a look at the fully built kitchens and baths in our sprawling 18,000 square foot showroom. It's truly one of a kind, and while showcasing the special attention to detail we put into our work as designers, this enormous showroom gives you the opportunity to envision real possibilities for your home. For almost 75 years, the dedicated team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that have set us apart as the best. We create kitchens that balance style and efficiency. The same goes for bathrooms too. See the full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom. With our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you'll get everything you need in one spot. For a free consult and more info, visit WisconsinKitchenMart.com or visit our showroom to see for yourself. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
For
more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Marketing a modern business means finding and serving your customers 24/7 wherever they are. WISN broadcasts are a powerful platform, but there's so much more. WISN's online digital tools are completely customizable, so you can reach your ideal customer through the iHeart app or by using software that actually finds your customers at a specific location or event. These tools are precise, efficient, measurable marketing weapons that you need to use. Combine the power and cloud of WISN's broadcast and digital platforms right now. Go to newstalk1130.com, keyword digital.
Always makes me laugh that the left accuses us here on the right of hating democracy. We love democracy. We support democracy. And here on the Dan O'Donnell Show, it's not every day that we have a vote on the Unhinged Liberal of the Day. Normally, this is a dictatorship. It is a dantatorship, if you will. But today, I simply could not decide. We had two equally nutty Democrat congressmen, and I put the voting out to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have spoken. I have listened. And it is time now to name the Unhinged Liberal of the Day.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany. Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
Pulling away after an initial close vote between Congressman Jonathan Jackson, who suggested that Elon Musk and, weirdly, Peter Thiel both wanted to bring apartheid to America because Musk's Doge was finding wasteful spending and stopping it coming out of USAID, and also LaMonica McIver, who is declaring war on Musk and wants to shut down the whole GD city over this. Number of you voted for both of these lunatics, but the clear winner after a half hour of voting, Congressman LaMonica McIver. Here we go. Your Unhinged Liberal of the Day.
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and damn it, shut down the Senate. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war.
Congratulations, LaMonica McIver. By the way, I don't think I ever said where she is from. She is a representative from New Jersey. So congratulations to her, your Unhinged Liberal of the Day. Senator Ed Markey, who is from Massachusetts, said something I think rather revealing during today's protest. Both of those, McIver and Jonathan Jackson, were from yesterday. We are now on day 3 of libs getting up on the steps of Congress and making increasingly insane speeches about how reducing wasteful spending that's going to other countries is somehow the end of American democracy and a shredding of the United States Constitution. They're upset because Elon Musk was not elected. He was not appointed. He was not confirmed by the Senate. He just sort of has power within the executive branch. These are the same people who cheered on President Obama for naming about 157 czars. There was a technology czar, an immigration czar, a czar for anything and everything. Not a single one of them was confirmed by the Senate, and that was sort of the point. Only now is it a big issue. But Senator Markey really got my attention with this one. He said he wants millions of people to descend on the Capitol.
It's the time when we have to stand up and to fight, to not stand on the sidelines, to have people by the millions are going to have to stand up and protest. When we come back here the next time, there should be hundreds of thousands and millions of people descending on Washington, D.C.
Wisconsin, what would that immediately remind you of? 2011, right around this time, the Capitol chaos protests. Democrats are quite literally still running the same playbook from more than a decade ago. And it is interesting, isn't it, that the one thing that gets them this upset, the one thing that gets them this impassioned, the one thing that would get them to organize protests and get people, as Markey put it, by the millions to join them and to take over the Capitol. No, but that sounds a little too insurrection-y. They would just peacefully protest. It would be a fiery but mostly peaceful protest. The one thing that gets them this engaged is taking away even a little bit of their money. What was the Capitol chaos protest ultimately about? Teachers, mostly, having to pay just a little bit more for their lavish benefits. Still less than the overwhelming majority of private sector employees had to pay. But oh, were they upset. Thousands of them showed up, tens of thousands. Schools across the state were shut down because teachers were going to Madison every day, except Saturday and Sunday for some reason. The protests were more sparsely attended. But boy, oh boy, Monday through Friday from about 7 a.m. to 2:30, 3 o'clock p.m., every teacher in the state was there. They're trying to do the same thing. Once again, a party of Al Greens. Marginally coherent, largely insane government functionaries who have just been passed by. This is a playbook that doesn't work. How many people, including those in the media, are looking at this and saying, yes, you righteous freedom fighters, you protest until the evil apartheid bringers cave in? And how many are looking at them and saying, really? This is the hill that you're going to die on? That USAID should be allowed to spend $50 billion on whatever random nonsense it wants to? Don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but Wisconsin has its own USAID-like scandal that we will dive into next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Southbound on 43, slowing from Burleigh down to the Marquette interchange. Still got crash cleanup near Walnut, blocking the left shoulder. Down in Walworth County, got all lanes of westbound US 12 blocked at Clover Road with a stalled vehicle. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by K9 Resorts Luxury Pet Hotel in Brookfield.
Jerry Bott here to tell you that K9 Resorts of Brookfield Luxury Pet Hotel and Daycare is the place where your dog will get the exercise, socialization, and attention it deserves. My dog loved it, and so will yours. New customers, mention WISN when you register and get 3 days of daycare free.
Attorney Tom Grieve here for Divergent Family Law. You really believed your paths were one and the same until death do you part. Your best interest was their best interest. Increasingly, it's it's clear you are on divergent paths, having grown apart in interests, goals, even morality. Having made it through the latest battery of holidays, you're now resolved to make your own way. Divergent Family Law is experienced attorneys who will make sure your path is not the lesser of two traversed as you go separate ways. Wisconsin statutes have no provisions for love, hate, or anger. Divorce is the disassembly of a legal contract, the division of assets, and the legal assignment of responsibility for property that cannot be physically divided. No judge or parent can split children in two, physically or emotionally. Family law is experiential. With Divergent Family Law, the outcome is predictable. Our attorneys can tell you up front with considerable accuracy the details of your divorce decree because we know Wisconsin family law. We know the adjudicators and we know your rights. Divergent Family Law. Separate and equal, or better. DivergentFamilyLaw.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends February 13th. Join today for $1 down, $15 a month.
See Home Club for details.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Never drive drunk. If you do, don't believe police officers who tell you it's just a ticket and a 6-month suspension. Pay it and put this behind you. You'll likely have to install an ignition interlock device to blow into before starting your car. Protects the public and shames you with your friends and family. Your license will be revoked. You can go to jail for 1 year if caught driving revoked. Even if you swear you did never drive revoked, most people do. With a to and from work permit, one snowstorm, long meeting, or traffic jam, and you're driving revoked. An officer runs your plate while driving, and you're in even more serious trouble. You'll participate in alcohol and drug assessments, a driver's safety plan, and alcohol classes. You could even lose your job. Prosecutors will tenaciously prosecute you without empathy, regardless of your clean driving record. Your first DUI conviction never disappears from your record. Just a ticket and 6-month suspension, and a Scarlet A for life. Charged with an OWI, your best chance is to call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Hey, Jason, what do you think of Capital's new jingle?
I like it, but I don't love it.
What? Why not?
It's catchy, but it says callcapitalcares.com. So is it telling people to call or go online when they need help with heating, plumbing, or electrical?
Yes.
Yes to what?
Yes to both. So call or go online and right now get a $49 Beyondification. That's a furnace tune-up done right for only $49.
Got it. And Mimi does rock the vocals.
Call capitalcares.com.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins is bringing back their famous 2-foot party subs. Whether it's for a big game, family gathering, or work celebration, Cousins 2-foot party sub is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. Order today through February 9th in store, online, or on their app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
In a world where every second counts,
immigration raids are still underway across the country.
iHeartRadio has one podcast that keeps you informed. 24/7 News, the latest. Today's latest news every hour in just 4 minutes.
DeepSeek launched its AI model R1 last week.
Be the first to know.
President Trump has sent a loud and clear message.
iHeartRadio's 24/7 News, the latest. Open the free iHeart app and listen now.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
You know who saw the USAID scandal coming almost now 40 years ago? Ronald Reagan. Now, Reagan, of course, I don't think could have ever dreamed of some of the insanity that USAID has been funding. The condoms in Gaza and whatnot. It wasn't apparently $50 million worth of condoms. The press secretary misspoke. Carolyn Levitt cleared that up and said it was part of an aid package, but one of them was condoms for the new Trump resort in Gaza. That, by the way, is what prompted Al Green to, for about the 48th time, try to impeach and announce that he was going to introduce articles of impeachment against the now 47th president, Donald Trump. Democrats are now a party of Al Green's. They do and say ridiculous things that might have once been taken seriously, but are not any longer. Reagan understood the dangers of frittering away hard-earned taxpayer money and why government functionaries believe that they can do so, because they don't see it as your money. They see it as theirs. In an address to the nation on April 24th, 1985, President Reagan, as only he could, outlined the major problem with government bureaucracies and how they spend taxpayer money.
You know, sometimes the big spenders in Congress talk as if all that money they spend just kind of magically appears on their doorstep, a gift from the Internal Revenue Service. They talk as if spending were all giving and no taking. Well, there is no magic money machine. Every dollar the government spends comes out of your pockets. Every dollar the government gives to someone has to first be taken away from someone else. So it's our moral duty to make sure that we can justify every one of your tax dollars, that we spend them wisely and carefully, and just as important, fairly. Unfortunately, hardly anyone could honestly call federal budgets wise, careful, or fair. Is it fair to ask one small business to help subsidize its competitors? Is it fair to ask workers in the private economy to pay for civil service pensions that are much more generous than the retirement benefits they receive? Is it fair to ask low-income families to help pay for the college education of children from families with incomes as high as $100,000 a year? Is it fair to ask taxpayers to help pay billions for export subsidies to a handful of America's biggest corporations? Well, it isn't fair, and you know it. But that's the law of the land right now, just part of the legacy of 50 years of trying to do good things for all by treating your earnings like government property. The time has come to decide what benefits we can properly expect from the federal government for ourselves, our neighbors, and those in need, and what government can take from us in taxes without making everyone worse off, including those who need our help. The one thing we cannot do is stay on the immoral, dead-end course of deficit spending.
40 years ago, he called it. He nailed it. You know why? Because nothing has changed in the mindset of people who are accountable to no one. Musk and Trump both understand that this is the mindset that needs to be defeated. You can defeat Democrats at the ballot box every 4 years, in Congress every 2 years. You can beat them for an entire generation. Their power rests in the permanent bureaucracy that far left wingers populate and can't be fired from. Or at least we thought they couldn't be fired from it. The power of the purse belongs to Congress. Or does it? Power of the purse today is in their hands, because they are the ones who are doling out the money that almost always seems to make its way right back into the hands of those elected Democrats and their allies through the non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, that get lavished with such government largesse. You see this noxious self-dealing at every level of government. And it's at its most noxious right now, perhaps in the entire country, in Milwaukee. Jenna Ray, a very, very good reporter who has been working on this story for today's TMJ4, Milwaukee's NBC affiliate, for more than a year and a half, I guess she said. She broke a bombshell last week. The Housing Authority of Milwaukee misappropriated nearly $3 million in Section 8 housing funds to pay its employees, salaries, benefits, and it's now on the verge of bankruptcy. Now, Section 8 funds are given by HUD. This is taxpayer money that can only be used to provide rental assistance for low-income, extreme low-income residents, as well as the elderly and the disabled. Now, according to an email that Ray uncovered, quote, unreconciled cash balances in audits of the Housing Authority show that since 2019, $2.8 million in funds were removed from the Section 8 program to cover agency overhead, salaries, and benefits in order to make payroll. That's illegal. So, too, is the fact that this was never reported to HUD. Now, HUD did find inconsistencies in how the Housing Authority handled this money, but it could never pinpoint the source. Last January, things got so bad and HUD got so fed up under Biden, I might add, that it ordered the Housing Authority to outsource Section 8 funds to a private company, which it did back in October. Now, 2 months later, as the heat on the Housing Authority was getting hotter, its director, who just happened to be the former Common Council president, Willie Hines, abruptly announced his retirement. People were demanding that he resign. Instead, he pulled the ripcord on a golden parachute. He was making $250,000 per year. And because of the city's overly generous pension system, he got a $75,000 lump sum payment, and he will get, are you ready for this? I'm sorry if you're eating something. I don't want to make you throw up. He will get $11,000 for the rest of his life. Folks, I have been saying this all week. I will continue to say it. A criminal investigation into Willie Hines' actions are necessary. Instead of using federal money to help Milwaukee's most vulnerable people that he was tasked with helping to find housing, and oh, by the way, the Housing Authority is the city's second largest landlord, if you can believe that. Hines was spending that money that is only legally allowed to be used for the elderly, the disabled, or the extremely low-income residents of a city. He was spending that on himself and his cronies. And it seems as though he knew all along that he could enrich himself by working at the Housing Authority. I want to take you back to 2014. And for those who maybe are a little younger, you've moved to Milwaukee, or maybe you're listening to me in Madison and you don't know much about city politics. In 2014, Willie Hines was one of the most powerful people in the city. He was the president of the Common Council. He was a very powerful alderman, and most people thought he was the heir apparent to Tom Barrett, Milwaukee's longtime mayor. Whenever it was that Barrett decided to retire, or maybe he would finally get himself elected as governor, he tried and failed twice in 2 years, first in 2010, then in the 2012 recall. And everyone just sort of assumed that Willie Hines was going to take his place whenever it was that Barrett left. And here's the thing about mayors of Milwaukee, for those who are unfamiliar. They serve forever. Barrett left in 2021, 2022, somewhere in there, after nearly 2 decades in office, because he was named ambassador to Luxembourg by President Biden. John Norquist probably would have done the same thing if a sex scandal didn't force him to leave office in disgrace. Before that, Henry Meyer was mayor of Milwaukee forever. Willie Hines could have been elected, would have been elected, and would have served as long as he darn well pleased. But in 2014, inexplicably, he gave all that up. He resigned as Common Council president. He resigned from the Common Council and took a job as the second in command of the Milwaukee Housing Authority. Now, on its face, this didn't make any sense. But Hines clearly knew something that the rest of the city didn't, because for nearly 20 years, he had served on the Housing Authority's board, and most of it as the board's president. He knew what he was doing. So did HUD. HUD actually forced him to resign his position because he didn't wait the required year after resigning as a board member to accept a paid position with the organization. Assistant HUD Secretary Sandra Rodriguez, again with the Obama administration, fellow Democrat, expressed her suspicion when Hines was hired. She told the Housing Authority in a memo, quote, "The process by which Mr. Hines was hired raises a number of questions about the fairness of the competition," and also added, "Hines does not seem to possess the requisite qualifications as required by the Housing Authority's own job description for the position." She also noted that when Hines was chairman of the Housing Authority's board, that board and the Housing Authority failed to comply with HUD's rules on hiring low-income workers when it accepted Section 3 funding for a housing project in 2013. Now, more than a decade later, it sure looks like the Housing Authority under Willie Hines was still flouting federal regulations in what really is starting to look like a $2.8 million fraud scheme. Now, just as DOGE has frozen all payments coming from USAID, HUD now has to stop the Housing Authority of Milwaukee from either taking in or spending another cent until a full audit of the agency can be completed. And it's just as important that the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and whatever other federal investigative and prosecutorial agency that needs to look into this and launch a criminal investigation just at how much money the Housing Authority was misappropriating and exactly for what purpose. If any of it went to Hines's lavish $250,000 salary or wages and benefits to any of his closest associates, they must all face the consequences, no matter how severe they may be. You are listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. By the way, all of that information included in my brand new column at the McIver Institute. You can find it now at McIverInstitute.com. Coming up next, it's the unsung hero of the day. Stay tuned.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
894 southbound jam from Greenfield to past Howard because of a crash blocking the left lane. Walworth County full closure with a stall westbound US 12 at Clover Road. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Hupy and Abraham. Get every dollar you deserve. Hupy.com.
After an accident, remember the name Hupy and Abraham.
They are absolutely outstanding.
And they go above and beyond.
10 out of 5 stars. Call Hupy and Abraham, 800-800-5678, or go to Hupy.com right now.
A Mickey Mantle baseball card sold for $12.6 million at auction. A baseball card, a fixer-upper in need of a ton of work, a median market value $300,000 home, or a multi-million-dollar home. Auctions increase final sales prices. Redefined Realty traditional MLS listing enhanced by EasyHomeBidder.com auction sells homes for more. Buyers can make a traditional offer and or compete and win at auction. RedefinedRealty.com. Obvious but revolutionary. When buyers win, sellers win. Real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Hi, it's Jerry Bott. You know that feeling you get when you realize you're dealing with a company that cares about you, not just as a customer, but as a person? That's the overwhelming feeling I got when I bought my vehicle at Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. The Holiday staff was attentive, patient, totally engaged, and they listened. That inspires confidence, and confidence inspires trust.
Hey, Wisconsin, let the daydreams of spring begin. Connect with the Auto Show sale at Holiday. Explore all that's new from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Then get our low simplified price. Stack it with money-saving offers. Get more for your trade and experience car buying that's fun, simple, and pressure-free. Already driving a Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC? Ask us about GM loyalty rewards that may benefit you or someone in your household. Don't miss out. Showtime is go time. Find yours and drive it home today during the Auto Show sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC Fond du Lac and at holidaygm.com.
It's worth the trip.
I'm Fred Schwartfeger, president of Horicon Bank. We're a family and employee-owned bank serving our communities for 127 years. Last year, we welcomed Cornerstone Community Bank to the Horicon Bank family and President Paul Foy to our board of directors.
That's right, Fred. It was no accident we chose to join forces with Horicon Bank. One might even say it was the natural choice. We shared many of the same characteristics: relationship banking, family ownership, local decision-making. It's been a flourishing partnership working with accessible, innovative, and responsive bankers.
In addition to our branches in Grafton, Menominee Falls, West Bend, and 17 other Wisconsin locations, we now bring hometown banking to New Berlin and our new flagship branch in Wauwatosa at the Mayfair Collection. Our vision is together doing good. We're excited to bring community banking to the Milwaukee area to do good for our customers, employees, and communities. If you're ready to rise above average banking, fly higher with Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Stop by or learn more at horiconbank.com. Member FDIC.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 60% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 24 months. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
Get ready for our 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards.
March 10th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry. And you'll help decide who wins Podcast of the Year. Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up after the top of the hour, yet another Dan O'Donnell Show exclusive. An organized crime ring involving illegal aliens right here in Wisconsin, but where you certainly would not expect. You're not going to want to miss this story. It is coming up after the top of the hour news. And of course, I suppose we have to get into that blockbuster trade that the Bucks made. Chris Middleton, who is a longtime member of the team, key contributor to the 2021 championship squad, and just an all-around good guy, as I understand it, traded away to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, as well as local kid, UWM's own, and son of the former coach, Patrick Baldwin Jr. We will get into that. We will also play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist, all next hour. Right now, though, time to name the unsung hero of the day. Today's unsung hero of the day is Jenna Ray. She is the TMJ4 reporter who broke open what I consider to be the biggest scandal in Wisconsin this year. And no, I don't mean just this year, as in like the first month of this year. I mean the entire year. She has done an incredible job exposing the fraud at the Milwaukee Housing Authority that clearly led to the sudden resignation of its director, Willie Hines. And I believe she's just getting started. We will continue to follow her work here at the Dan O'Donnell Show. And of course, we appreciate what she is doing. Jenna Ray of today's TMJ4, your unsung hero of the day.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Maloney. The United States Postal Service says it will resume accepting inbound packages from China and Hong Kong just hours after it suspended service from those regions. The agency didn't give a reason for the initial suspension. Wisconsin's governor is trying to get on the same page as lawmakers with a plan to clean the state's waters. Governor Evers is looking to spend $145 million on PFAS cleanup. The governor also wants to set new standards for PFAS pollution. It could turn slippery. Forecasters say southeast Wisconsin is in line for a round of freezing rain later today and into tomorrow morning. The National Weather Service says folks in and around Milwaukee could see anywhere from a glaze of ice to a tenth of an inch. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports scoreboard, the Milwaukee Bucks will be getting Kyle Kuzma from the Washington Wizards in a deal that sees them send Chris Middleton to Washington. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A period of light snow is possible this afternoon, then a light wintry mix of sleet, snow, and freezing drizzle late tonight into early Thursday morning. Only light accumulation possible, but watch for slippery spots. Windy with some sunshine Thursday. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
When I decided to remodel my kitchen, it was important to see more than just designs and drawings. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart made it easy, with more fully built kitchen displays than anywhere else. The showroom made all the difference when making important design decisions. Along with their talented team of designers, decorators, and installers, my dream kitchen came to life.
For almost 75 years, our team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that set us apart from the rest. We understand that your kitchen must be a well-oiled machine so you enjoy using it. And don't forget, bathrooms too. That's why we offer quality design that incorporates the existing space in your home to enhance the style. Come see our full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom, and with our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you can get everything you need in one place. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Visit wisconsinkitchenmart.com for more information and a free consultation.
People should be judged for the content of their character, not the straightness of their teeth.
I'm Mila. The gracious, caring staff at Ross Dental make straight teeth convenient.
Bo, Mila's big brother here. High school social pressure can make students want to be invisible. Ross Dental Straight teeth are confidence building.
With Ross Dental Straight teeth, you and your children will smile like you just don't care because you don't.
Dr. Ross did imaging and ordered virtually invisible plastic trays that fit over our teeth, shifting them ever so slightly.
Every 5 days or so, we start new trays that shift teeth a little more.
Unlike conventional braces, we can take the trays off to eat and brush our teeth, and they cost less.
A bonus for me is clicking in my jaw stopped.
Dr. Ross is a great dentist, and Dad says Ross Dental is the best deal.
Family dentistry, cosmetic whitening, Ross Dental Straight smiles, and full sedation dentistry. For anxious patients needing substantial restoration. Our mission, your comfort, health, and confidence. Smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Mike Wood here from Callan. Join us at the Nary Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th through the 16th in booth 1005. Ask about our buy one, get one 50% off on all Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and patio doors. Yes, this offer includes installation and there is financing available. Plus, enjoy 20% off Bayview shade and blind window treatments when you order windows with Callan. Visit us at the Nary Show in booth 1005 or call Callan.com and click the green button. Callan, design, build, live.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Cowall Investment Group, now Creative Planning, is a registered investment advisor. Now for your business report from Creative Planning. For informational purposes only, past performance is not indicative of future results.
Good afternoon. This is Tom Krieger with your afternoon business report. Major averages wavered today but pushed higher as investors looked past trade turmoil and shook off a disappointing cloud revenue miss from Alphabet. Big Tech did receive a boost from a jump in NVIDIA shares. The jump came after Supermicro Computer announced full production availability of its artificial intelligence data center with NVIDIA's Blackwell platform. Shares of NVIDIA climbed 4%, while shares of Supermicro Computer added 8%. At the close, the Dow was up 317, S&P 500 up 23, and the NASDAQ up 38. From the Cowall Investment Group, now Creative Planning, I'm Tom Krieger.
Immigrants from Venezuela operating an organized theft ring out of Chicago that made its way to West Bend. An exclusive story here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up in just a second. Also, the biggest trade the Milwaukee Bucks have made in quite some time, dealing away star guard Chris Middleton, who, as much as I love him, has just not been able to stay on the court. I think age and injury are catching up with him. He was traded today for Kyle Kuzma of the Washington Wizards, along with former UWM one and done Patrick Baldwin Jr. We'll get into that as well. First, though, a chance for you to win $1,000 in the Cold Hard Cash Contest. All you need to do is to enter the keyword pay, and we will pay you for listening to us. P-A-Y, pay. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000 in our Cold Hard Cash Contest instantly. You want to join the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130. That is our adventknows.com talk and text line. You can email me, dod@iheartmedia.com. In case you're wondering where we get this many exclusive stories, where you get all of this information that you just aren't going to hear anywhere else, it's from you. If you have a story, just email me. I read every single one of my emails. I've been trying to do better at getting back to as many people as I possibly can. You've got to understand, folks, if I don't answer your email, it's not because I'm a jerk. I mean, I am a jerk, but I get inundated with emails, most of them junk. Sometimes I will miss yours, and I get so many legitimate emails, so many emails from listeners, yes, some fan mail, a lot of hate mail, and I just don't have time in a day to answer every one. But if you have an idea for a story, if you've got a tip, I have been doing this for nearly a quarter century. Literally my entire adult life. I was a teenager when I started in the broadcast news business. I don't want to say how old I am now, but you can do the math. I have never burned a source, not once. And I promise you, you will not be the first. Sources are always fully protected. I am fully willing, if it ever comes down to it. In fact, I would gladly go to jail rather than reveal a source. I just would. Believe it or not, I do have some convictions, and one of them is journalistic integrity. I truly do believe that. I will never, ever, ever reveal a source. They could put me in an Iron Maiden, and I would not reveal a source. Promise you. They are a good band. They were a medieval torture device before they were a band, Paul. I think you're aware of that. I could be put in, what's the other one? The Blood Eagle. Don't ask me why I know medieval torture devices. I've been reading a lot about the reign of some of the English kings. Because I'm just that cool and fun at parties. That's what I do. No, I struggle with insomnia, and sometimes I'm just up and I try to read boring stuff to put myself back to bed. And, sometimes I play a game with myself. I call it Wikipedia roulette, where I'll just type in a random thing that pops into my head, and then I'll just read the Wikipedia article about it. And if I'm interested, I'll try to find more information about whatever it is. So ask me anything about the reign of the Frankish king Charlemagne and why he is called the father of Europe. I've been reading a lot about Charlemagne lately. I have also been reading a lot about 4 young men by the names of Luis Alfredo Alcala Alvarado, Franklin Lopez Ochoa, Juan Marin Chavez, and Dylan Alejandro Palima Avariano. All of them are from Venezuela. All of them are here illegally. All of them were caught shoplifting. But it's not what you think. All of them appear to be a part of an organized shoplifting ring that is intentionally going after very high-priced items that are easy to conceal so that they can be resold either on the street or online. Now, if you had to guess, Paul, let's see if you can get into the mind of a criminal. What would be something that is high-priced, that is small, that is easy to conceal, and that isn't behind security glass like, say, jewelry? You are just going to say jewelry. Watches, that would be part of jewelry, but it's a good guess. Do you know it is a very common target for thieves, especially thieves in organized rings? Cologne. Men's cologne and women's perfume. A lot of stores won't have behind the security glass, and it's very easy to just take. Now, I did not know this, but I have a 17-year-old boy. So you could imagine we have way more colognes at our house. Do you know what he asked for Christmas? More colognes. No, he is way more high-end than Axe body spray. I have no clue what it is he got. He spends his birthday money, as only a 17-year-old boy can, on colognes. Colognes! He does. I'll give him that. He does smell good. He doesn't smell like Aqua Velva like his dad. No, I don't use Aqua Velva. I do use Old Spice. Yes, I use Old Spice. I use Brute, because that's what I had when I was a kid. It was my dad's, pretty obviously. No, you know what I use is the Gillette gel. Their aftershave gel. It's maybe $2 a pop at Walgreens, $2-3. It feels great after you shave. It smells great. I love it. I seriously, that is my, if you're wondering, the signature Dan O'Donnell scent, it's either beef jerky or the Gillette aftershave gel. I love it. I should endorse Gillette after. It is the best a Dan can get. Huh? Come on, Gillette. Come on, Gillette. We can make this partnership work. Although, are they the ones that had the razor for women shaving their faces a couple of Father's Days ago? Yeah. I'm suddenly rethinking my brand partnership with the wokies at Gillette. I have no idea. I think it was Gillette. They did like a woman shaving her face. No, not like an actual woman, a dude in a wig, transgender woman. They were the Bud Light of razor companies. All right, back to the story at hand. So these 4 Venezuelan illegals, all of which give addresses in Chicago, are up in West Bend. This happened Saturday, November 9th. So right after the election, they were celebrating Trump's win by shoplifting from the Ulta Beauty on Main Street in West Bend. West Bend police officer gets called to the scene after a clerk spotted these dudes just walking up and clear as day sticking a whole bunch of cologne bottles in their pants. Made no effort to pay, of course. They just walked right on out. Now, unlike, say, California or maybe a more liberal city in Wisconsin, looking at you, Madison, where stealing a couple of bottles of cologne, especially if you are just a poor immigrant, one of the huddled masses, excuse me, the tired, the poor, the huddled masses, yearning to smell good. They need that cologne to feed their families, to make their families just smell better. City of West Bend takes this stuff seriously, and the responding officer actually spots the 2006 Camry that these dudes pile into and pulls them over. None of them speak English, of course, so he has to call another officer to the scene who's fluent in both English and Spanish. He ordered the 4 occupants out of the vehicle. In plain view, police observed numerous bottles of fragrance perfume inside that Camry. This from the criminal complaint. A subsequent search of the vehicle resulted in the recovery of more than 20 fragrance bottles of various brands, the very brands of fragrances that are sold by Ulta Beauty. And I love it. Whoever it was that wrote this criminal complaint has a flair for the dramatic. After the loot was returned to the store, they actually used the word loot. Kudos to the Washington County District Attorney's Office. After the booty was returned to the store, mateys. Complaining witness K.S., the clerk, reported to police that a total of 29 bottles of fragrance recovered from the vehicle, ranging in price from $110 to $165 per bottle, was taken from the store. The total value of the fragrance bottles stolen by the defendants working in concert with one another totaled $5,215. This now makes this a much more serious crime. In fact, it's a felony. All four men were charged with 4 counts of retail theft, intentionally concealing between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of merchandise as party to the crime. It is a Class H felony, punishable by $10,000 in fines and a maximum of 6 years in prison, which, because of Wisconsin's bifurcated sentencing law, amounts to 3 years behind bars, 3 years of extended supervision. Here's where things get a little more interesting because, ultimately it's just 4 20-somethings and they target an Ulta Beauty. It stinks. No pun intended, but it happens. Not like this. Police note that defendant Franklin Lopez Ochoa is believed to be an actor in numerous other retail thefts from Ulta Beauty stores in Wisconsin and nearby states. It is estimated that he is associated with approximately $80,000 worth of stolen merchandise from this chain of retail stores. Upon information and belief, Ulta Beauty has retail stores in 50 states with 22 locations in Wisconsin. An NCIC query of defendant Franklin Lopez Ochoa determined he was on a watch list from the Federal Bureau of Investigation in regards to him being involved in an organized crime theft ring. The FBI was contacted. I am led to believe that these 4 are on the radar of ICE. This is what's going on in the United States. And this is the sort of nonviolent offender that the left wants in this country, or at the very least doesn't want booted out of this country. Remember, it's only violent felonies right now, or rather, it was up until a couple of days ago when President Trump signed the Laken-Riley Act into effect. Now, all 4 of these guys under the Laken-Riley Act absolutely can be deported because one of the great tragedies of the law was that the guy who killed Laken-Riley was convicted of, or at least he was charged with and jailed for retail theft after a conviction for endangering the life of his girlfriend's child in New York. He went down to Georgia and he was convicted along with his brother. He was arrested, I should say, of shoplifting. They got him on video. I mean, he did it, okay? I don't have to worry about the alleged theft or anything like that. He did it. He was let go because he was fortunate that the county he was arrested in is a sanctuary county. And even though he obviously has a criminal record, he's associated with the Tren de Aragua gang, he's set free. Within a couple of months, he sexually assaults, kills, and then badly dismembers the body of a poor, innocent college girl who had the misfortune of taking a jog in the wrong place at the wrong time in the vicinity of someone who had no earthly business being in this country. Now, these 4 guys didn't rape anyone, they didn't kill anyone, but they are involved in what local police identify as organized crime. This is why the Laken-Riley Act was necessary, because these guys should never have been in this country, should not have been allowed to enter. And yes, I know we have a waiver program with Venezuela that these guys are almost certainly, at least at one point, a part of. They're not here legally. When your first act in a country is to violate its immigration laws, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you're not going to respect that country enough to obey the rest of its laws. These guys prove that. Now, you may think, oh, well, who's really harmed? Ulta Beauty? Who cares? Let's say this clerk, instead of calling 911, tried to confront them. These guys probably know what's at stake. They ain't in California. Washington County, Wisconsin, although there are a shocking number of liberal judges in conservative Washington County, the possibility of a violent encounter was definitely there. In fact, this is why retail stores always tell their people, just let them do it. Just let them do it. It's not just the liability of the store for an employee getting hurt or worse by a criminal suspect. It's also the fact that these stores care about their employees, and they know that an employee trying to stop somebody, unfortunately, in places like California, this has led people to steal with impunity. This is a real problem. And when now, and this, by the way, these sort of organized retail theft rings are a big reason that you can't have in many inner cities a whole lot of retail shopping, because they just can't stay in business. You want to know why Walgreens, all of a sudden, it seems like one of the most successful retail stores in America? It's closing so many different locations. It's because of this exact thing. People just go in, they steal stuff, and then they're not stealing it, libs. I know a bunch of you gullible, utopian-minded people think that it's because, well, they just can't afford it, and because it's sort of like they need to steal bread to feed their families. No. Do you know why you, at most retail stores, can't get a razor without asking for somebody to open the case for you? It's because, again, those things are easily stolen. They retail for a lot of money. They are sold on the street or they are sold online with 100% profit. So now you've got people like this who are getting involved in making money. It's an easy way. How long do you think it took for these guys? They walk into an Ulta Beauty, they fill up their pants with colognes, they walk out $5,000 potentially in profit. Took them all of, what, 45 seconds? And you've got people who say, well, we shouldn't deport them over this. Yeah, we should. Ulta Beauty was victimized. Society as a whole was victimized. And here's the thing that liberals just can't get through their thick skulls. The people who are most victimized by this aren't necessarily people in West Bend who tend to be a little better off. It's a very nice community. It's a beautiful community. In fact, I love West Bend. The places where these thefts occur typically are in the poorest neighborhoods. And then you've got the Willie Hineses of the world stepping up and saying, oh, how dare Walmart close a location here? Well, guess what? Walmart is closed. Do you know, we have an entire phenomenon called the urban food desert. Do you know what an urban food desert is? Exactly, Paul. In urban areas, in a whole lot of black neighborhoods, there are no grocery stores. There are not even Quick Trips, and I don't mean to single out Quick Trip. There are no places for people to buy healthy, fresh food. It's an urban food desert. Do you know why they exist? It's because they can't stay in business. Because there is so much theft, there is so much loss of profit, and there is, on top of that, the constant threat of armed robbery. They don't stay there. This victimizes those people the most. The people who can least afford to lose retail. I lose the Costco down the street for me. Oh, well, there's a Target a block away. Target goes under, too. There's a Walmart right there, too. And you know what? I can get in my car and drive to the next neighborhood over for a Costco. People who don't have cars can't. It is devastating when retail spaces close. But you've got the same people who say, people like me don't care about those retail spaces closing. Well, anyone else wanting to point to the real reason that they're closing? Anyone else want to come up with a real quick way of cutting down on at least some organized theft? I'll tell you what, you get Luis Alfredo Alcala Alvarado, Franklin Lopez Ochoa, Juan Marin Chavez, and Dylan Alejandro Palima Avariano out of this country, and they're not robbing any Ulta Beauty stores anymore. We'll talk about that Bucks trade coming up next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Then after that, we play America's favorite game show, Guess What's Racist?
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Still slammed 894 southbound from the Zoo interchange to before Cold Spring with a crash block in the left lane. 27 minutes down to the Hale interchange. Also starting to see a backup 4145 southbound approaching the Zoo. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I'm Reset Restore MD's Dr. Jennifer Grieve. For people that are suffering from depression, anxiety, and PTSD who are desperate for relief, intravenous ketamine can provide the relief of a lifetime that other therapies can't. Listen to R&R MD patient feedback.
Depression plagued me for years. Antidepressants, supplements, yoga, meditating, even energy drinks, nothing worked. After the first R&R MD ketamine treatment, the fog that gripped my brain for years was gone. It broke my caffeine addiction. I had energy, zero anxiety, zero fatigue, zero depression, day one.
The staff at the clinic is amazing. The results phenomenal. Anyone suffering depression or anxiety, this is the only therapy that ever worked.
IV ketamine infusions at Brookfield or Mequon's Reset Restore MD induce neuroplasticity, triggering rapid growth of therapeutic neurological connections. R&R MD's superior intravenous ketamine infusions take about an hour, but the relief can continue for weeks, months, even a lifetime. R&R for relief, Reset Restore MD, rnrmd.com.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Will you be my Valentine?
Really?
I can't stop thinking about you.
Wow.
I'm smitten with employee-free showrooms.
Oh.
And free next-day delivery.
So you're professing your affection for Hasselus mattress.
I'm head over heels.
It's hard to compete with hassle-free mattress shopping. Our employee-free showrooms save you so much money.
Tell me more.
Get a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres A Queen mattress. Others sell it for $12.99, but Hasselus has it every day for $9.93. Plus, way low pricing on Beauty Rest and Serta Perfect Sleeper, and free next-day delivery, too.
My heart's all aflutter.
And through Monday, Hasselus Mattress will give you an additional $248 in instant savings on any Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper.
You complete me.
You're gonna love shopping at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com. Hasselus, employee-free since 2014.
Thank you, WISN listeners, for trusting your car repairs to Engine and Transmission Exchange. ETE has 2 locations with A-plus ratings from the Better Business Bureau. One is on South 27th Street in Milwaukee, the other on West Avenue in Waukesha, and they work on any make or any model. See enginetrans.com for details. Engine and Transmission Exchange.
This Valentine's season, the Ministry of Preborn invites you to become a heartbeat hero and share the love that goes beyond a box of chocolates, a love that saves lives. Every day, thousands of women are told the lie that abortion is their only option. They can't do it, that there is no hope. But that mother in crisis, when she sees her baby on an ultrasound at a preborn network clinic, it doubles her chances at choosing life. This isn't just an image on a screen. It's about a mom hearing the baby's heartbeat, maybe for the first time, and realizing that's a gift growing inside of her. One preborn supporter said, "Knowing my gift could save a life was the most meaningful act of love I could give." For $28, you can provide an ultrasound and help a mom in crisis choose life. $140 provides 5 ultrasounds. So this Valentine's season, take a stand, be bold. Become a heartbeat hero. Dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or visit preborn.com/Beck. That's preborn.com/Beck.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
We report, you decide. Factual, fair, and balanced coverage. Your exclusive home of Fox News Radio. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome back to it. The Milwaukee Bucks, as far as I know, still have not formally announced the trade of Chris Middleton, unless they remove me from their media list, and I did not know about it. I honestly don't know if it is official. Okay, folks, here's how NBA trades work. It's official as soon as either Adrian Wojnarowski or as Shams Charania, or Charania. I don't want to be disrespectful because both are just incredible reporters. Wojnarowski left ESPN. He was the longtime NBA insider, and he took a job as the general manager, basically exactly what it sounds like, for his college basketball program, is his alma mater, St. Bonaventure, which is a weird career move, but hey, good for Woj. And Shams Charania was the athletics guy, and the two of them, Wojnarowski and Charania, would compete for scoops. Every time they're right. And do you know what the secret is? Same thing with Adam Schefter over at ESPN. Do you know what their secret is? Do you know who their source is? I just went on a big thing with never outing a source, but I guarantee who their sources are. It's whoever it is that works in the NFL or NBA's office that processes trades and personnel moves. That's how they're able to get it so quick, because what happens is they know, and they never get it wrong, because they know it's official as soon as it goes into the league. So I say a trade becomes official as soon as one of these guys reports it. Sources tell Shams that the Bucks traded Chris Middleton to the Wizards along with rookie guard A.J. Johnson, who was their first-round pick this year, in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, who's averaging about 15 points a game. He is a small forward who began his career with the L.A. Lakers. He's 6'9". He is 29 years old. He would seem to fit with the Bucks. He is athletic. He is, I think, somebody the Bucks needed to trade for. Now, is he the answer? Is he the missing piece? Probably not. Is Patrick Baldwin Jr.? Also probably not. But what became painfully clear over the past couple of weeks is that the highlight of the Bucks season very well could have been the fact that they won the meaningless in-season tournament. They have stunk. And their problem for the past 2 years is that they look their age. The Bucks were the oldest team in the NBA for the past, 2-3 seasons? That's difficult to do, to stay that old. Damian Lillard and Giannis are in their primes. Okay, maybe Dame is a little bit past his prime. Brook Lopez is still effective, but age has caught up with him. He can still protect the rim. He can still give you good minutes. But this is not the Brook Lopez of the Brooklyn Nets days. It just is. It's not even the Brook Lopez of the 2021 season. Same thing with Bobby Portis, who's been in and out of the lineup, and the Bucks just have not had an answer for teams who are younger, who are more athletic and who just basically run them ragged. And the more they depend on Giannis just pounding it inside, scoring 35 points a game, it doesn't really matter, because what other teams are doing is saying, okay, we'll let Giannis get his points. If we can hold Dame to under 25, we're going to win. If the Bucks aren't hitting threes, and they didn't have that, the reason the Bucks offense worked so well in 21 was because Giannis would drive, Drew Holiday would drive, and Middleton would be right there for a kick out for the open three. This is how the NBA, for better or worse, is played now. You need one guy who spaces the floor and 2 or 3 guys who can all hit the three ball. I don't like it either, but this is the NBA. The Bucks made this trade, frankly, because I think they're still worried that Giannis is going to try to force his way out of town if they don't have a perpetual contender. And right now, they are not a contender. Now, what is interesting here is Giannis, who I think is the actual GM of the Milwaukee Bucks, had Chris Middleton stand up in his wedding. And was Middleton the best man? I mean, they are very tight. Giannis apparently signed off on this deal as I was reading some of the coverage of this trade. Giannis wants to win. He's not a stat padder. Frankly, I don't think he's a guy who cares much about stats. I think he cares about winning and winning only. That has led, unfortunately, to the Bucks making bad decisions in the pursuit of giving Giannis what he wants. Damian Lillard for Drew Holiday was a bad decision. I can't believe, and Lillard couldn't either, he was the most surprised superstar that he got traded this side of Luka Doncic. He was the face of the Portland Trailblazers forever. He spoke at length about how depressed he was when he got to Milwaukee because he thought he would spend the rest of his year. He was going through a divorce when he got traded, and he never saw his kids, and then all of a sudden he's moving half a country away. Drew Holiday's ability to guard 3-4 different positions was something that the Boston Celtics recognized immediately. Wouldn't you know it, the missing piece. Boston with Jason Tatum and, who's the other guy? He is incredibly smart. He's their second superstar, Paul. I just realized how much I sounded like Belling right there. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, genius. Did you know this? Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics is a certified genius. He's given a lecture at MIT. Yes, he is a very, very smart guy. In fact, coming out of college, one of the knocks on him why he slipped was a fear, and how stupid does this sound, that he's too smart and would get bored of playing basketball. But as good as those two guys were, the missing piece, none of them is particularly good at defense. They brought in Kristaps Porzingis. The missing piece was Drew Holiday. The Bucks immediately, I won't say they got worse, but they didn't get better when they brought in one of the best scorers in the history of the NBA. Why? Because defensively, they're no good. Because they thought, okay, well, we're gonna score 120 points a game, and we dare you to keep up with us. Well, unfortunately, the plan was for 2 slashers and 2 good shooters in Dame and Chris Middleton to surround themselves around Giannis, who would control the paint and get his 30 just by showing up and dunking the ball. Well, it didn't work because Chris Middleton couldn't stay on the floor. So now they're making another move, and I do believe that this gets the Bucks better. Frankly, I could not believe another team would take on Chris Middleton's contract. I don't know what Washington is doing, but it sure looks like it isn't winning now or later. No real surprise there. I think Washington has the worst record in the NBA right now. They're not going anywhere, and they probably aren't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. So Kuzma clearly wanted to go to a contender. Chris Middleton will not be re-signed. And the thing, though, is that as bad as Middleton was, and as much as he hurt the team with his injuries and his poor play, I think he just is not healthy and has not been for a long time. He was the reason that the Bucks were able to win that championship. If he didn't hit as many clutch shots as he did throughout those playoffs, Bucks lose to Brooklyn in the second round. It's not even a contest. You don't even need Kevin Durant's toe to be on that three-point line. They get blown out by Brooklyn if it's not for Chris Middleton. So we do thank him for what he did for the city of Milwaukee, bringing a championship back to the city for the first time in half a century, and what he meant off the court as well. He was also very active in charities, and just as I said, not quite as bad. Like Drew Holiday was far and above. He and his wife just far and above what you would expect a pro athlete to do. But Chris Middleton also, what I heard, just one of the nicest, kindest, most decent men you could ever want to meet. Despite his fame, despite all his success, just a humble, good guy. And I wish him well. I hope they trade him in turn to a contender, because nobody wants to play for the Wizards.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Southbound on 43 going to be slow from Burleigh down to the Marquette interchange, and on to 4394 in pockets down to the KK River Bridge. You got a crash over at National that's blocking the right shoulder. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Belinsky Homes, building homes ready to handle your life. Visit Belinsky.com to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement, cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGOTREES.com.
Hospitalized medicine has a lifelong prescription for every symptom, and each prescription causes more symptoms. Total Health works to restore health so you don't need their pills or treatment. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com.
Okay. Well, wait. How about this one? Look, 3 bedrooms.
What's the catch?
Well, we'd have to replace the appliances.
All right.
And the style is straight out of the 80s.
Oof.
And the roof leaks.
How about a Ready Home from Belinsky Homes? They've got brand new homes in a wide variety of designs. We get all the benefits of new construction while skipping the building process. Look, just go to Belinsky.com to see all the Ready Homes available right now.
For people with disabilities, an opportunity can make all the difference. Get help navigating the transition into adulthood, employment, housing, healthcare, and more with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that empowers people with disabilities.
So this job makes me feel very confident. My goal is always to grow myself and learn new things.
Live life to the fullest. It all starts when you say yes. Contact a Thinkability Navigator to get help at thinkabilitywi.org.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here. Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year. More impressive is Victor Harding Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024. It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards.
It's not boastful considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know 2 attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare.
Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case.
Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters,
often our adversaries,
refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation.
Injured? It is about the money.
Warshawski.com.
That's Warshawski.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
I'm Greg Rosenthal, host of NFL Daily. Join me live from Radio Row in New Orleans. I'll be interviewing the NFL's biggest names all week long. NFL Daily will have you ready for this year's big moment. Will it be Mahomes completing the three-peat or Jalen Hurts avenging their Super Bowl 57 loss? We'll be there on the field after the game. Full recap, interviews with this year's Super Bowl champions. Don't miss it.
Listen to NFL Daily on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow NFL Daily and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
No radio handy? No problem. Listen to WISN's live audio stream 24/7 via the web. Just click on the Listen Online tab at newstalk1130.com.
It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. I'm just realizing, folks, I do not have time to do Guess What's Racist. And I apologize because we had a great question. Canoes, kayaks, or rowboats? Guess what's racist, Paul? Canoes! Technically kayaks, too. Our friends over at Canoecopia, we reported on this one yesterday, declared that paddle sports are horribly racist. They're going to have their annual world's largest paddle sports expo next month at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, March 7th, 8th, 9th, I think. And, of course, it wouldn't be an expo in Madison without a little white guilt. So they're having paddling while white. I've got all the details up on my X and Facebook accounts. Just go to @DanO'DonnellShow on both. You think they're going to be able to keep the momentum going with these protests against Doge and Elon Musk? No? You don't think they're going to descend on the U.S. Capitol like they descended on the Wisconsin Capitol for the Capitol chaos protests more than a decade ago? No, Paul doesn't think so. I think they're going to try. And one of the big talking points that Democrats have put out there is that the American people didn't vote for this. We didn't vote for Elon Musk. Yeah, we absolutely did. Trump said explicitly, I am going to put not some random billionaire, but this specific billionaire. He said, I am going to put Elon Musk in charge of finding wasteful spending. It's what he does. He really wants to do it. And if I'm elected, I'm going to do it. This is an interview from October 13th on Mornings with Maria Bartiromo of Fox Business.
There's a lot of fat in government that you would want to slim down.
Incredible fat.
So what agencies would you want to shut down?
Well, let me have you ask another person that, because I'm going to have Elon Musk. He is dying to do this. You know, he's a great business guy, actually. You think of him for science and rockets, and every time I'm thinking, he's telling me about a new screw that was developed. He's developed a new screw. Screws are difficult, and it's made out of titanium, and it's so exciting. But you know what? He's a great business guy, and he's a great cost cutter. You've seen that.
Yeah. And now the entire country is seeing it. The American people knew Elon Musk was going to do exactly what Elon Musk did. In fact, he coined Doge before the election. Everybody knew he was going to do this, and we voted for it. We want it because we're tired of the waste, the fraud, the abuse, and most importantly, the self-dealing. All of this money, our tax money, just happens to make its way back into the hands of Democrats who then use it to get reelected and to keep funding more wasteful spending. A vicious cycle ends now.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
94 westbound going to be jammed from 27th over to Mitchell Boulevard, where you got a crash that blocks the left lane. It's going to be a half hour to Moreland. Eastbound taking you 16. Southbound 4394, crash at National off to the right. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the President's Day sale at Grand Appliance for unbeatable appliance deals, like a mega capacity French door refrigerator from Samsung for just $13.99. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local showroom. That's Grand Appliance, appliance expert since 1930.
Josh from Infinity here. The roofing and exterior modeling industry is notorious for painful, surprise hidden costs.
MJ here. We built Infinity with integrity, installing roof, siding, windows, and peace of mind.
Infinity's custom app eliminates costly, unpleasant roofing and exterior modeling upcharges, showing an absolute transparency every detail of your project.
We pay less, you pay less.
Infinity provides multiple budget options, including financing immediately.
Warranted, guaranteed quality, installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends February 13th. Join today for $1 down, $15 a month.
See Home Club for details.
Put a smile on their face at a family place. Elmbrook Family Dental.
This is Dr. Brandon Brunner.
And Dr. Eric Teibel from Elmbrook Family Dental.
Okay, Eric, there are a lot of things that set us apart. What do you want to start with?
I'd say Invisalign.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone offering Invisalign for less?
No. In fact, we just saw a patient quoted about $3,000 more for the same treatment. I'm really confident that our Invisalign price is the lowest in southeastern Wisconsin.
And a lot of older patients who wish they have gotten braces back when they were younger, they're choosing Invisalign.
It works. And the lowest Invisalign price, along with the 5-star review quality of care that we're known for, works for our patients.
Elmbrook Family Dental with 2 locations in Brookfield and now in Wauwatosa.
Put a smile on their face at a family place. Elmbrook Family Dental.
Because a great smile goes a long way.
It's not the first time this has happened. At Lisbon Storm Screen and Door, we take a lot of pride in a lot of things, and providing top-notch service for customers who buy our high-quality windows and doors is one of them. What this leads to is happy customers. Unfortunately, it can also lead to talent poachers. No, we don't take it personally. We understand it's a dog-eat-dog business, and everybody out there is clawing to get good people. And we do all we can to hold on to ours. So when a big-name window company calls our service manager directly to offer him a position because he fixed one of their jobs that they couldn't, we just take it in stride. It's a badge of honor. This is David Wilhelm. You can skip the frustration of poor workmanship. At Lisbon Storm Screen and Door, we have good people that take pride in their work. And when you join that with the best products this industry has to offer, you'll see why we're your clear choice for more.
Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Find out more at lisbonstorm.com.
Get ready for our 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards.
March 10th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry. And you'll help decide who wins Podcast of the Year. Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks plus podcasts and originals, all in one easy app. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
A tour de force of truth. The sort of truth, well, frankly, you just don't get in the rest of the media. Like, where else would you hear about a Venezuelan illegal immigrant cologne theft ring? Yeah, that's a real thing. It was really operating in West Bend, and apparently this is widespread. I heard from a number of sources after I did that story that said Ulta Beauty is almost on a bi-weekly occurrence. Those stores get shoplifted from. Because, again, they sell very expensive things that can be easily concealed and stolen and then just as easily resold. I will continue digging into this. We've also got a number of other fun things tomorrow. We will play Guess What's Racist. I promise. I know it's been a while since we've done it. Still getting used to the timing on this afternoon show. Talk to you tomorrow.